The Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi is trending on the internet. 1, for refusing to give in on the demands of the DA in Gauteng. 2, for wearing a t-shirt that had a revolutionary message on it that read, "Don't kill Chris Hani again." Many people are saying Panyaza Lesufi is one of those people in the ANC that still gives hope that there's people that still want to liberate our people. Some are saying he might just be the guy to save the ANC come 2029. Is this true or not? What I know is that I've compiled some videos for you and I to watch so we can make an informed judgment as to the mentality of Panyaza Lesufi.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Blackheart, the hustle continuer. Made to inspire your goals and dreams. 100% good quality clothes are now available at affordable prices. T-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, bucket hats, and more. Place your orders now. 06847366908. Instagram Black7576. Facebook page Blackheart.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Zinjiva Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we are addressing Panyaza Lesufi again. Wow, Panyaza Lesufi is trending more than Gogozilla. That's very good. I'm happy when we speak about African people, especially on a tone that seeks to unite us as Africans, or at least takes us forward in remembering where we come from and also having a clear direction as to where we are going. Now, Panyaza is a very outspoken man. He does not mix around his words, it looks like, but also he's been said to be quite an honest but pushy character in the ANC. I think we should credit him a lot for the ANC not reaching a deal with the DA. Partly the DA is blamed for submitting that agreement to vote for them and the speaker before getting the numbers correctly. You know, they changed the goalpost and Panyaza punished them for that. But this issue of Panyaza's t-shirt that was written, "Do not kill Chris Hani again." Oh, Nkosiyam, if I can just explain to you guys what that message mean, I'm telling you, it's going to open your eyes as to a peek into Panyaza's mind. And also, Panyaza spoke in the past about this AfriForum and the Freedom Front Plus. Let me just play you these 2 clips and I'll come back for more.
You emphasize that the Democratic Alliance is the one party that stepped away. And one thing that you can't deny is that what we've seen in these negotiations, even as you watch what's happening within the ANC, is you've seen that there are some within the ANC that are absolutely against the government of national unity, particularly the ANC having shared some power with the Democratic Alliance at national level, right? Some that say that the struggle for liberation, for instance, has been betrayed. Yesterday, you wore this T-shirt. Let's put that up on the screen. You wore a T-shirt yesterday that read, "Don't kill Chris Hani again."
And it will never happen.
What is the intention?
Chris Hani will never die again. And we might have been rejected by voters, but what Chris Hani stood for will always stand. We will defend it, whatever it takes, in whatever moment. Even when we are trying to establish a government of national unity, we are paying a price for establishing that government. We are paying a price of being insulted, undermined, and bullied. But we are putting the interest of our country first. Imagine a country where doctors are not paid, a country where patients don't get medication, a country with no budget for its soldiers. We embraced ourselves to say, regardless of the limitation of the outcome, we will defend what Chris Hani stood for. But you go to negotiations and have other political parties that their mission is to kill the ANC. Their mission is to eliminate the ANC. The voters might have said what they've said, but to kill the ANC will never happen.
So you
As
believe that at
long
national
as we
level,
still stand, as long as some of us still breathe, as long as some of us still are still members of the African National Congress, Chris Hani will never die again.
Premier, do you
AfriForum and many other organizations that are coming in our country to represent a certain race and a certain language must not be tolerated. For a cramped organization like Freedom Front that represent a certain sector and they want us to tolerate them, and they want to open Orania where you live there on the basis that you speak a certain language, not in our country. Have your own flag, have your own schools, have your own currency in our own country. Have a country within a country. It will never happen. If that is wrong, and therefore must not be supported because I hate racism, then let it be. Racists are mindless and useless. You must not tolerate them, and I will never tolerate them.
Such powerful words coming from Panyaza. Really, I've watched other people saying, Upanyaza indote matoteni. And I was like, they might have a point here. Went around, looked for some clips, and this is what I found. And I have to say that there is a token of hope in the ANC because of this type of reasoning. You know, when a person admits to say, you know what, we are being punished for selling the revolution, thinking about the country and not our people. Our people are punishing us because of that. But what we will not do is to kill Chris Hani again. The reason why he wore that t-shirt that day is because he was trying to say, you remember there is some rumors or some amahemi going around that the ANC worked with the Conservative Party to assassinate Chris Hani. Now, I'm not saying that's true or false, but they say they are the one that gave the intel to the information to say, take him there, he's at home, do this and do that. And that's how the Conservative Party killed Chris Hani. We are saying Conservative Party because Lewis was one of the members of the Conservative Party, of which Dr. Groenewald Peter Groenewald was also part of that party. So, those stories that are mixing there to say, that message of the t-shirt says, we will not work again with our colonizers to assassinate, not now what the life of Chris Hani, but what Chris Hani stood for. If you look carefully, you watch all the videos of Chris Hani is beating around one point, land. If you say you're going to stand up for what Chris Hani stood for, the first thing you're going to have to speak about is land. Land, land, land. Chris Hani said in the negotiations he could not sleep knowing that his comrades are locked in a room. Abo Mandela, Abo Mbeki, Abo Cyril are locked somewhere in a room where he is isolated from those negotiations, and it's like, I could not sleep that night waiting to hear what these comrades are going to come out and say. And when they got the information that no, we are putting away umkhonto wesizwe, we are putting away the guns, we are no longer fighting, we are going to look for an election date, one vote, one man. And also he said, yeah, I hear all of those things, but where is the land? Chris Hani asked about the land. So for Panyaza to say sentences like the ANC will not die as long as some of us are still standing. Woo! Woo! I hope Panyaza knows what those words mean. And I hope he knows that there are some comrades that are bought in the ANC. I think everyone admits this, that I'm a comrade. I mean, Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma, even Cyril Ramaphosa says the enemy has infiltrated our camp. They all say that, all of them, from Mandela actually, from Mandela. The enemy has infiltrated our camp and now they are fighting us from within. separating us. That's why there was always factions in the ANC, always factions in the ANC. So um, I want to talk about another clip that Panyaza had at David Mashabela podcast where he spoke about the government is too slow. People are always asking, why is it that the government does not do this, do that? Does the government have money and all of that? Listen to what Mr. Lisufi said.
You've been criticized, one, for being too pushy about this and not following process. Some are saying there's this process, and to a point where even national government and demand is this is not how this is done. What is your immediate reaction to that?
Because government is too slow for my liking.
Spoken by someone who's in government.
It's too slow for my liking. It's too slow.
Jeez.
And if we can continue on this pace, I can tell you, nothing will be done. If I was not pushed, we'll not have these young people that are working now. They're working full time, earning a salary. So you really can't delay things that will save lives. You have people that are unemployed and you've got crime. Why can't you hire the people that are unemployed to go and fight crime? You've got potholes. You've got young people that are not trained on to fill potholes. Why can't you train them and they go and fill potholes? You've got a problem of housing. People want housing. That's why they build informal settlement. But we've got so many homeless people that are not skilled. You train them on how to build a house, they will build a house. So I'm that kind of a person. But government does not understand that aspect. I mean, we are launching a project now. We call it the Crash Nelova, where we're going literally everyone that is unemployed that is in the township in Gauteng. We're taking them back to TVET colleges, all of them.
Will you manage?
Yeah.
Can the TVET colleges take them?
Because we are doing 2 shifts. We're doing shifts. I mean, many TVET colleges on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're standing empty.
So
in the afternoon, they're standing empty. So we're expressing them. And the numbers of TVET colleges are very low, actually. Many people prefer to go to universities than TVET colleges. But I've got robots that have been cut off. They're lying on the floor. And you've got people that are unemployed and unskilled. Why can't you train them how to fix that robot and the problem is solved?
Yeah.
And many other things. How many stadiums that me and you know that are vandalized and
so we're tell me about HMP just
So we want to train them and give them a stipend every month. And people say, "Oh, Panyaza, what
It does sound like a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yes.
It must be. So anything that is not impactful, don't count me days. What must I do by 200, 150? Yeah, it doesn't. It's a drop in the ocean. But if I take 400,000 unemployed young people, skill them, give them a stipend, give them a job, it's impactful. It changes. But government is not ready for such. So every day one will premier.
But where do you get the funds for this? Because some say
government have funds, but the problem is that because those funds are used for things me and you, we don't see them, we don't mind. That when you do it for things that you can see, then you ask,
where did you get
where you get the funds? But if I travel to go and watch France rugby match,
we didn't see you.
and it cost us 400,000 a trip.
Yeah.
You keep quiet. Yeah? If it cost me to go and attend a conference of a certain institution somewhere, you are fine because you don't know how much it is. But when I say I want to take all those monies, like the T-shirt, all these things, and employ people, people say, no. That's a lot of money that is, I really believe it can be better utilized. But remember, when you hire those people, you've got tax that they're going to pay. They're going to buy food. That's how you kickstart
the economy.
That's how you kickstart the economy. And I'm determined that we need to take that particular.
Guys, when I tell you that government has got money, I'm not joking. If you understand how government works in its fiscus, in its way of collecting revenue, government has got money and government is spending too much money on unnecessary things. And most of it, like Panyaza says, has to do with unnecessary trips, unnecessary luxuries, and, unnecessary spendings that the government can really cut on. Government can cut on some of those spendings, and I mean we have seen it with the general of Burkina Faso, where he cut the spendings of transportation, accommodation, cutting them from a 5-star hotel to 2 and 3 star, and all of those things. Those small cuts, they make a big difference when it comes to how government spends its money and where it spends it effectively. So that is true. So it's funny that Panyaza, him being in government, says government is working too slow. What he means is that the processes of getting things done is monitored in such a way that you can't get it done in a fast way. So the growth of our country is actually monitored with policies so that it does not grow too fast, so that people can praise the ANC, and it does not grow it just grows, it does not grow too slow for the markets to disbenefit from it. Now that is very important. Another person said, King, but you are favoring the MK. You never say anything positive about the ANC. You are an EFF agent and whatever. Listen, my people, in this channel, I don't hide that I'm an EFF supporter. I don't hide that I love my MK because of their stance on changing the policy, on bringing Africanism back to the way things work. I don't hide on that. This is not one of those channels where you guys can tell me I must be neutral in my analyzation. I must not show. Well, I'm showing you guys that I'm pan-Africanist and unapologetic about that. I'm pro-black. Anything that advances black people and anything that fights the enemy, I'm pro it. I don't care if it comes from the ATM, UDM, the Patriotic Alliance, the ANC, not the DA, the whatever part, as long as it advances black lives and it brings us close to that black agenda that we have of fixing our country and truly liberating our people, then I'm on it. I'm not pro any political party. I'm pro-African. That's what I am. So when I hear Panyaza speaking the positive things, I'm going to give him his credit. Of course. Of course. I don't have that hatred for the ANC like everyone has. You understand? We agree that the ANC must be saved from itself, so that it can continue doing what is written on the Freedom Charter. It must continue to do what the ANC said it wanted to do for the black people. They have diverted from those goals of the ANC, and they are an ANC that we cannot recognize, and we are going to criticize them day in and day out, because we will not be complacent and accept nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? We love the ANC for the ANC to change. Sizoishaya ukuthi change. That's what you do. You understand? So I am against the DA 100%. You're never going to find me dilly-dallying, counting my words when it comes to African issues. I want African people to have a life that is meaningful. Not this surviving life of getting paid today, tomorrow you don't have anything. You don't own land, you don't own the means of production, you don't own anything that is, you are obeying and submitting to the constitution that does nothing for you as an African person. I'm not that type of a person. So, speaking about owning the means of production, Panyaza Lusufi had another interview where he spoke about the 3 families that run this country.
Economic structure of our country. 3 families are controlling everything in our country, literally.
What are those families?
I don't think I've got enough bank balance to go toe to toe with them, but okay. You all know them. Okay. But they control the country. Find the banking, it's them. The mining is them. The transportation is them. The mines and everything. So my view is that, and those are the areas when you said, is the ANC still relevant? It's the area where we need to go. We can't have 3 families or 1% of people controlling the economy of the country. It does not work that way. So we need to really tackle that, unpack it, and ensure that doesn't happen. Indeed, I share that view that
the Gupta state capture compared to the broader, bigger state capture, it's nothing.
This type of reasoning is what we want from our politicians. But also, there's an element of fear. That's why you hear Panyaza say, I don't think I've got a strong bank balance to go against these people. The politicians, they know who run this country. They know that they are just doing an administrative exercise for the rich people. Why are we saying that? Is because the constitution favors those rich people and speaks down and keeps the poor poor and the rich rich. This constitution that we have in this country. So Panyaza knows that. He knows that very well. 3 families, it's actually 5. 5 families run this country. Stellenbosch mafias, Oppenheimers, De Beers, the Ackermans, and Ruperts. They run this country. When you look at you take just Johan Rupert and you look at the companies that they own. Guys, when you look at the companies that you own, there was once a story where they said if Johan Rupert packs up and goes, South Africa will fall to its ground, will fall to its knees because of the companies that man own. Him alone. We're not even going to the Oppenheimers and checking what they own, the Beers, the Minels, all of them. Yeah, we're not talking about them. We're talking about just one billionaire. If he goes and shuts down his companies and say, you guys are no longer operating, the amount of jobs that are going to be lost because we are not preparing to replace those systems, those companies with black companies. That's the problem with us Africans. We are happy that we don't have a telecommunication company. We are happy that, there's so many companies that we should be owning in preparing for Africa Maibuye. But we can't say Africa Maibuye, you don't produce cars, you don't produce nothing. You don't own nothing of the means of production. And you want to chase all of those people away. And then you want your people to suffer because Maibui Africa. Your people will fight you. Your people will fight you. So, and remember, they own also these media companies. ENCA, SABC, and Newsroom, all of them owned, because you can hear the level of stupidity in their presenters. One presenter was asking Panyaza that, what are you saying about if you are leaving the DA out, what are you saying about the 1 million people that want to see the DA in provincial? Just listen to these guys.
Out of that institution.
I think one of the difficulties, of course, in the run-up to the announcement of this provincial cabinet is the issue of the numbers, right? You say that it's a difficult thing to set up a representative government when 1 million voters in Gauteng wanted to see the Democratic Alliance in that very government. I mean, is that something that you consider? What do you say to the 1 million voters in Gauteng that wanted to see the DA in that government? What do you say to the 1 million voters in Gauteng that wanted to see the DA in that government?
Hi guys, you guys, if you watch my channel, you know what I'm going to say. So we must worry about Imbungulu as 1 million as votele ETA, and not worry about Abantu Betu, AKZN, still 1.5 million who voted for the MK party and gave them 45%. So the 1 million in Gauteng is so important. I mean, why should Panyaza answer for people who voted for the DA? Those people must go and ask the DA, why is it they could not get a deal done with the ANC? Not ask Panyaza that rubbish. But nobody dared to ask the IFP, the ANC, and the DA that, guys, if you guys are having a collusion there in KwaZulu-Natal and you're taking over government, what about that party that got 45% with 1.5 million people that voted for them? What about them? Nobody asked that question. Absolutely nobody. The media thinks we don't see what they are doing. They think we don't see. So, in conclusion, with Panyaza, the question is, what are we comparing him to? Paul Mashatile? Fikile Mbalula? Who else can rise up and say maybe they want to run for president from the ANC? You see, that's what we are. That's the question that the ANC will have to answer going into its conference before the elections. For me, it's a little bit too late, man. Like the project of saving the ANC is not going to happen within these 3 years that are coming. For me, they'll have to deal with this government of national confusion. All of those fights, time flies so fast you won't believe. It will be December 2024, it will be in 2025, and now the ANC is trying to create a government with the EFF and leave the MK out, and all of those things that are going to happen are going to disturb their focus, because those things I always tell you, there are things that these white monopoly capitalists make them to happen so that they can disturb us from the main focus while they are stealing our minerals, stealing our land, and taking everything. In the meanwhile, we are fighting amongst each other. So for now, I can't make the judgment if Panyaza is the guy. I'm waiting to see what is going to happen. But in terms of saving the ANC, I don't think he has enough monetary value to compete, and I don't know. I don't think he can save it in 2029. Let me rather say that. Maybe beyond that, maybe. In 2029, no, it's too close. It's too close. The ANC is in an ICU bed. The ANC is breathing with machines now. I promise you. That's how I see it. But you guys will correct me on the comment section, and after correcting me, you will go and support our sister channel African Mojolo with your boy King. I will appreciate it so much if we can get that channel to 1,000 subscribers and monetize that little baby of us that's teaching us about the marriage life, that's teaching us about the love life for Africans, how we should approach certain situations as Africans in our relationships. Until we meet next time, don't forget to pray. After you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan Africanism. I salute you.